Well, that pissed me the fuck off. But here's part two. Ah, damn, it sucks. I was having a ball. I got the ball rolling, but okay, I guess I'll just have to redo 10 minutes of conversation. Anyway, as I was saying, narcissistic people can just let shit roll off their back and be okay with other people not genuinely caring about them and having a facade and not caring who's friends with who does what, and letting other people get away with it. But not me, because I guess, oh no, Tamia wants people to not befriend her rapist. It's like, Tamia expects people to be decent. Because it's like, yeah, that's how you show care. Because if I cared about someone, and if they were like, oh, hey, like, you do know this is the guy I've been talking about, right? The guy who sexually assaulted me and hurt me. Can I ask why you're following them? I'd be like, oh shit, it's that motherfucker? Oh! You want to set him up to like I'd be a real ass bitch. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that this motherfucking guy hurt you. I had no idea it was this fucking guy. I'm never talking to his ass again. In fact, I will curse his ass out for you right fucking now if you really want me to." Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Or at absolute bare minimum, you just go, "Oh shit, him? I'm sorry. I had no idea." And then you unfollow him, you block him, you not like you don't send me paragraphs about like how you are a free person, blah blah blah. Like, that's not cool. I didn't think it was like, I don't have a high bar for friendship. It's like, don't be friends with the people who dangerously hurt me to the point where I almost took myself off of this planet multiple times. And don't be the type of fucking cunt that like only talks about themselves. I can tell when you do it because you're just waiting your turn to talk. And if, like, what does that mean? Imagine you're sitting in front of someone and then you can just see their eyes glaze over and they're just like, mm hmm, mm hmm, mm hmm, mm hmm. And they're checking their phone as they're talking and not showing any real interest. And you know that, like, in that, and then it's like, nigga, if I'm talking to you about how I almost killed myself over how fucked up my last relationship got with my ex, and how traumatic it was, and all the evil fucking things he told me, how he said I should kill myself, how he said I don't deserve to live, how no one's gonna want me except for him, how he's the only good thing in my life, yada yada yada, like, and how he just was actively wishing death on me, and that pestilence on my family, and rats in my crib, and all sorts of weird shit. And if you like, it's like, sorry, dude, it's like, boo hoo, nigga. I was saying my story because it's related to yours and it's an analogy that connects to yours. So it's like, you get to have your little 3 hours of talking about that bitch you know damn well you shouldn't be fucking, who we talk about every single goddamn time for motherfucking hours. So I will let you talk about your situation for hours and days and weeks and months. He should have left this bitch months ago. Jesus, me and him ended sooner than he ended things with that bitch, and she's done worse than I ever have. Oh, but you know what? I can't even just have a little, like, 1 minute, 2 minute little, ooh, this is me sharing about what I've went through and how it ties to you. And then I can't open up to you about something that I was really struggling with, just keeping to myself and not being able to talk to people about because I had to cut off friends who, and he just sat there with a deadpan face, eyes glazed over, obviously fucking uninterested. And I knew, and guess what? He did exactly what I expected him to do. He did that fucking shit where he acted like I didn't say anything and then went right back to talking about himself and his situation with that bitch. I'm sorry if I already said this in the other video, but I'll say it again. You can't complain about not having friends in the comedy scene if, when I've tried to support you at mics and shit, you don't care when I show up, you don't value when I show up, you don't even fucking, like, I could ask him hours before what mics he's going to, and I would hear hours after whatever mic had already finished, he'd be like, oh, yeah, I just went to this place and that place. And it's like, and then he would complain how no one was in the audience and no one cared about him, and how he bombed and got in his head, or how he didn't have anyone there to support him when there was a full crowd, and how he did great and wishes I could have seen it, or how he did great and how the other comedians were allegedly hating on him and how he felt so isolated. And I just thought to myself, this is so funny because he didn't fucking invite me out. This wouldn't have happened if he invited me out. I would have been there. I would have baked fucking cookies and shown up and been like, hey, dude, hey, I'm super fucking happy. I would have shown fucking support. He's not deserving of my support, so that's why our friendship is over for a second time. Anyway, and it's like, I can't talk to you about the most lowest point in my life. I'm not saying you have to like have the perfect reaction. I'm just saying any reaction past what reaction they had was necessary. I hate that I'm gonna have to re-record the last 10 minutes because I had a bunch of topics I went through and I nailed them all perfectly. But it's okay. I care about you enough, dear listener, where I will do it for you, and I care about myself enough to not want to hold my tongue. So, yeah, me and Seamus probably aren't gonna be talking anytime soon. I almost considered talking to them last night after a breakdown, but only because I wanted a glass of wine. I would have left immediately after, and then they would have seen exactly how it feels to be used only for a certain benefit you can provide, and then entirely fucking abandoned. Like, no, sweetheart, we aren't gonna have any sort of, like, wonderful reconciliation talk. I just came for the free glass of wine that I needed to chug so that I could have a healthy rest of my night. But he wasn't even there. Anyway, yeah, I'm just done overstretching myself out for people. Now, this segues into what happened last night. There was this guy I've been talking to. I'm not going to reveal his identity. I have more respect for him than that. Let's just say he has a lot of followers, and he's cute. Or was cute. He didn't stop being cute. He's just stopped being cute to me. Let's just say we got to talking, and it just was so apparent that they were pulling a Seamus. They were waiting their turn to talk, or they would, like, I would say anything and they would just ignore it, and just, that's not cool. So I tried to communicate this to them before. They didn't respect it. That fucked me up. And I guess, like, we were gonna meet tonight because there's a festival in my city I wanted to go to, and they actually agreed to go with me on some, like, hey, sort of as a friend, sort of as a date shit. And I thought, oh, yippee, I get to meet this person and have a blast with them, and we have great energy, and we seem so compatible, and I can wear this cute outfit that I've been wanting to wear for a while and get to know them. It can be so wonderful and happy and fun. But then guess what? I actually tried to just, I thought to myself, I get the feeling I should send them this message to just set a boundary that, like, hey, if tomorrow I feel like I'm not really being reciprocated with any emotional energy, like if I feel like I'm not really having any conversations that are like my direction to show that I'm also cared about, then I think I would just like have to go home. But what happened was, I guess I was a lot more stressed than I thought. That led to a breakdown and a bit of a blackout. And let's just say the conversation ended with one, we aren't gonna meet today. Two, I got to see that they are the deflective type and they lack accountability skills. Three, just, yeah, I got to know that maybe they aren't so compatible with me. I can joke with a lot of people, I can have fun with a lot of people, I can gossip with a lot of people. I am not made for just all people. That's not how it works for me, sweetheart. Hate to break it to you, but yeah. Like, I hate that I'm all cried out and that I have to record the last several topics I made, but I'm lightheaded, but I'm gonna tough it out. I'm gonna tough it out. If you're someone who's lovely and special enough to listen to me, then you can tough it out. I guess I'll just start where I can. Mm. Oh my gosh, strawberries are so good. There were several signs that this guy was like not the greatest person still. Like, how do I put this? The type of guy to be like, just little things that just showed that maybe I didn't matter to him as much as he thought. Like, you know how it always is a small thing that makes you realize how big shit really is? Like, for example, he's allegedly been staying up super late, like, low key stalking my Instagram, on, like, seeing how far back he can go, all the stuff he can read, all the pictures he can see, anything he can find out about me. He wanted to. And he, like, we've known each other for quite some time. Like, I'd say about several years by now. And I guess I just playfully asked because I could tell that they did that same thing. Anytime I said anything about myself in a conversation, they would overlook it. But even before, like, how do I put this? It's like when we first became friends, funny enough, it was them showing disrespect to me. Also, that was my stomach if you heard that growl. They messaged me. They came into my DMs already before. Like, I remember they texted me and they were just trying to flirt with me, like, hey, let me know if you ever want to, like, like hook up sometime, or you could come to my place and we could listen to music and hang out. And I said, yeah, no, sorry. I like hangouts that are outdoors if I'm gonna meet with someone. And also, I'm not trying to have sex. And then he got all touchy, like, well, I'm an attractive man. I have a lot of followers. I can have anyone I want. I don't need you. I'm fine without it. I can live. I can live. And they got all shitty. So I did something shitty back. Let's just say I texted them some information that you would be horrified if someone texted you. And then they were like, oh, we're still friends. Yeah, we're still friends. We're still cool. We're still jiggy. Yeah. And then, but then some time passed, and then they admitted, like, I'm sorry for how I acted. I'm on, and they told me that they were just doing some drugs to cope with the breakup and having a lot of sex to cope, and that they were just disgusted with themselves and doing a lot of unhealthy procedures to try to keep their mental health in check or boost their self esteem again after the loss of someone they loved. She's not dead, she just ghosted. And I was like, I gave a lending ear, but I kind of thought to myself, this is deja vu. He's acting like how everyone acts like when they're about to start treating me as their fucking therapist. And I can't fucking stand that. And like, we did talk a little bit more, talk, talk, talk. And then eventually conversations started happening more. Like, hell, we started talking almost every day for like, fuck, like the moment they wake up, or like afternoon or so, we could just talk until like 1 a.m., sometimes even 4 a.m. Just fun banter, fun conversations, all that. We got along very well. We have a very similar energy. If you've ever seen my most manic or like fun videos on here, then you would look and go, oh yeah. And then if you knew the dude's social media, you'd look at his and be like, yeah, they seem like they would get along like right on rice. And we did, excluding the fact that whenever they actually did hop into my DMs on IG to talk, I noticed that they would only talk about themselves, go in depth about their own life. I would ask about them. I would ask them, "Ooh, tell me more about your relationship with your father. Tell me more about your divorce. Tell me more about this or that." And we'd talk. But they wouldn't. Yeah, they just. And eventually I thought maybe I'm not giving out enough information about myself to seem interesting, and maybe they were just forgetting how conversations work. Maybe I should be more open minded and trust that they do care about me. And I started sharing stuff about myself too. Like, they'd be talking about themselves, I'd share something related, like, oh yeah, this is my relationship with my mother. Oh, I know how you feel because I had this sort of breakup. And we talked, but then I noticed that they anytime I did text, speak, or send a voice message, they would shift the conversation directly back to them as if I didn't say anything at all. And that's usually a very bad omen. And yeah, funny enough, it came to a head like last night because I asked them, like, actually a few days ago, I had asked them, like, I wonder if I should test you on what you know about me to see how well you truly know me. If you say that I'm really that interesting and that you want to get to know me, I wonder how much you've retained about me. Like, I don't know, like, how many siblings do I have? Or what's the last bad date I've been on? Or like what my favorite food is. And I said that playfully, but then guess what? They didn't respond to that, and they went right back to talking about themselves as if I didn't say anything. So it kind of built up the feeling of, oh yes, they definitely only are here to use me as a therapist or to monologue and to get an ego boost off of the fact that a pretty girl is interested in them, not because they genuinely actually give a fuck about me back. And last night I just kind of was like, hey, out of curiosity, like, I gotta ask, what do you think my favorite color is? He said, you seem like a forest green. Have very forest green energy. Dear reader, I have never once worn green. I've lost any single green jewelry I have because I don't wear it. You see me all the time with like salmony pink drinks, laying on a pink cushion, wearing pink clothes, pink wig, pink lip gloss, captions talking about how much I love wearing pink. I have almost every article of clothing that can be worn pink. I have never once worn green. Like, really. Like, there's one single time actually, and maybe all of last fucking year. Two actually, two notable times I have ever worn green. I don't wear green. If you were to ask me to find some green shit in my closet right now, I would probably find like this one shirt from like 2010 that I just keep forgetting to fucking toss out. Well, more like 2014. And something about that really stuck with me because it's like that would have not been a hard question. And it's like any other color would have sufficed. It's like if he said red, that would have been close enough because it makes sense. I also wear a lot of red. If he said orange, yeah, orange definitely is a color that I love and obsess over a lot. It's a beautiful color. The trick is, I love any color that can be seen in a sunset. It's something about him saying forest green, the one color I actually resent seeing is. Huh. That's not what someone who's interested in me would say, because they would know that not to be true. But I could already tell that that was just like one single like needle in or one single piece of hay in a haystack. That was just the camel that broke the camel's back. Wait, the hay that broke the camel's back. You get what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. Let's pretend I got that analogy right. That was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. It was the one small thing that made me go, huh. And I just reflected, like, yeah, when is a time where I've actually shared something about myself and they showed genuine interest? I can name two single times out of like the many, many, many conversations we've had. Like, imagine you have 1,000 conversations with someone and there's only two where you feel like someone's actually like gone, oh, yeah, I'm recognizing about your situation. That sucks. Or, oh, yeah, you should do this. Like, there was two single times I can name him doing that. Any other time, it's been monologues. It's been I'm his therapist that he wants to fuck. And also, even like he did tell me at some point too that a reason he did reach out to me was because like over DMs, like we stopped talking for. There have been moments where we would be talking, but I would be like, it seems like he's just on drugs and needs to trauma dump about his heartbreak or something. And like I was okay with that because at first I was just fascinated to get to know this person who everyone else doesn't get to know, and I thought it was cool. But and then they'd vanish, and then they'd come back sometime randomly, like a week or so later, do the same thing, vanish, and then I guess I'm just disappointed because this time around it did seem like they were at least a little more interested in me. Like it seemed like they were reaching out because I was mentally stressed the fuck out, and they were like, "Hey, are you doing okay? Your recent posts have been a cry for help." But they also did reveal to me that another reason they did officially just full on DM slide me was mainly because I have fat tits, and they were just looking nice and stacked. So he just had to DM me to see if he had a shot at it. Fucking disgusting. And also just like the fact that even before like he tried the whole DM slide of arrogance, thinking, "Ooh, I have a social media account that has a lot of followers. I have this, I have that. Clearly, she should be willing to jump my bones just on that alone." No, fuck you. I go to Lake Tahoe and Gary Danko for a first date, nigga. You really think that I'm just gonna come to your house and have sex with you over a little bit of shared taste in music? Nah. Anyway, I tried to have a conversation with them about it last night. What ended up happening was a deep, 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 deep emotional spiral. It was like a weird accidental slip and fall that just turned really fucking messy. And I suppose it's just, I tried talking to them about it. I was gonna just do the smallest little thing of, I should let this, because I don't know, I wanted to meet them for the festival today. I had the cutest outfit planned. I was so excited. And I was just, you can imagine my disappointment. I was embarrassed a little bit because it's like I was just gonna say, hey, by the way, I feel like if there's no conversational like reciprocity my direction, then I might feel uncomfortable and just want to go home. Just so you know, because I really value being listened to, especially these days after losing some friends over similar. That's what I meant to do. What accidentally happened was a massive trauma dump with tons of voice messages and tons of vulnerable misery. But at the end of it, like all they said, they kind of dismissed everything I said and then got deflective and just were like, oh my god, I wasn't even pushing to meet that hard about even just like a platonic hangout. I'm not even that sexually, like, I'm not even that horny for you. What do you mean I only want you for sex? And it's like, and I just said, you fucking idiot, you absolute buffoon. I'm not saying you only want me for sex, but I am saying that it's like, I have kind of noticed that it's like unless the conversation is like, oh, something sexually, then you're not asking anything about me. You're not really, yeah, it's like you this man says he's like, if I actually were to tell him like, tell me some things I've told you over the past few days, I don't know if he'd be able to pass that fucking test, and that makes me upset a lot. I don't know. I guess one can say I'm just a little disappointed because I don't know. Let's just say Something that's frustrating about being a woman, especially even worse with your autism, is that you can have pattern seeking behavior, but the patterns are like so obvious but so slight. And then it's even worse when people don't even want to admit that it's happening. They don't just want to admit like, oh right, you're sorry, I'm sorry, I haven't been properly like trying to get to know you, I haven't properly been trying to like engage with you, like, but it's not fucking hard. The bar for my friendships is not hard. It's like, how hard is it really to go, how are you, Tamia, how are you coping with your recent loss? Oh, how's your mental health doing? I know you've been struggling for a while. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Like, why is it just me asking those questions and they don't bother to even give back a simple and you, or and how about you? And then like, and like, really, that's, it's like, oh, so I get to know everything about, like, oh, okay, to me is so cool and awesome that I find her worthy of knowing all this shit about me. And but he doesn't find me worthy of having anything known about me. It's like, I know what role you want me to play. You want me to be a side character, you want me to be an ego boost, you want me to be the manic pixie dream girl who helps you find yourself. No fucking asshole. It's like, no. You have so many other women on your roster. You should be talking to them, not me. If you want to be my friend, you're gonna have to come fucking correct. And he didn't, so that, yeah, we're not meeting today. And I can't even, I felt a little embarrassed, but only over the fact that it's like, oh, I feel embarrassed that I accidentally had a mental breakdown in their messages like that. I want it to seem cool and easygoing. Then again, me being cool and easygoing when I already brought up the topic several times before didn't get me any results, so I'm not really missing out. It's like I'm not missing out at all. It's like, here's this dude who is like, if he manages to accidentally look like an asshole, then he's the same thing as an asshole. Because if you accidentally look like an asshole and make the concise decision and choice not to change your actions whatsoever, then congratulations, you are still very much an asshole. You can't say that you didn't know any better. You can't say that you were naive, because it's like, no, you're a fucking cunt and you know that. So it's just disappointment, because it's like, I don't know, I was looking forward to meeting them today, and I kind of was thinking like, oh, I wonder if we're gonna make out. I wonder, like, I thought this could be fun. Like, he seems like a great person to get along with, and we could have all sorts of conversations and get some ribs and funnel cake, and I can look cute, and we can have a great time and boogie. But instead, it's like, I'm probably, I don't know, I'm getting more comfortable with my own company because other people are showing me that I can't find comfort and solace in them. And I'm not trying, I spent a large portion of my life feeling insignificant, feeling just like I could vanish just as quickly as like a fallen leaf off of a tree gets swept up, just fucking gone with the wind. I am tired of that. I spent my whole life that way. I was even looking at videos of myself in the past. I was like, yep, I used to be the person who would record, where everyone at events would find me boring, but then they would hit me up after because they knew I got all the secret best videos. I was never the main focus in any of my own videos until maybe like post pandemic. You would see me record other people at parties having fun and socializing and being the ones who are cared about. You'd see that with everything. I'm not a side character anymore. I'm just as interesting enough to be a main character. And so I find it really fucking disgusting even that this guy, I'm not gonna relist out every single thing he said to deflect, but it was so, just some shit was so dumb. It's like, ooh, you don't exactly give me room to ask about you yourself. Sometimes you just tell me things about yourself. And it's like, yeah, sometimes I just tell you things because you weren't going to ask me shit about myself either way. Even if I didn't say anything about myself, the only thing you talk about is you. Like, fuck you. And yeah, people are gonna have to learn. It's like, you can't be like, I actually think you're very unique and charming and interesting. Well, congratulations, idiot. You're probably banking on the fact that my autism and fear of abandonment and uh, sad ability to believe people at face value, you probably thought that was gonna work. It's like, no, if you really thought I was unique, charming, and interesting, you would show interest. You're not. I'm not falling for that one, you fucking pig. So if you can't do the bare minimum of, I should ask this lady about herself in a conversation and make sure she feels like she's a person that's being respected too, and not just someone I'm talking at and or talking through, that would be lovely. But he didn't, and so I have to remind myself today, you are not the one who lost out here. You aren't the one who made a bad decision. He was. He's the one who chose to be that way. He made an active choice. And so, yeah, what he gets is the ability to have his rights to my life rescinded. And that's what he gets. I also hate when people do me dirty and try to pop back in like everything's okay. My housemate tried that. I was disgusted by it. It's like, sorry. Well, no, not sorry. It's like, nope, don't try to smile at me and joke to me about this, or that. You know what you did. You left me and abandoned me in a time of need and even tried to make the time worse for a month straight. You are not going to suddenly be chip chip cheerio with me. I'm going to look you dead in your face with that same fucking deadpan glare, and I'm going to act like you didn't say shit to me. Because fuck you. Anyway, but yeah, hate my housemate. This is so disgusting. I didn't need to bring them up. I just felt like it. I could have ended that video on like such a good wholesome note. So let me try to bring back that wholesome note. I'm learning self-respect with every friend I lose. Because it's like, I want friends just like the people on here, where it's like they care enough to listen to a whole hour-long monologue about what the fuck happened with my mom back in the day, what I've been through with an ex, what I've done here, what I've done there, and they still manage to go, we care. We see you, we love you, happy birthday, you mean this to me, you mean that to me, and add to my life. And it has reciprocity. Thank you for that. I'm very grateful. You mean a lot to me. Anyway, yeah. Also, if you're someone who feels like it, feel free to get in the comments below and tell me your favorite color. Because I would like to know things about you as well. You don't have to just be one-sided. Because I want to make sure that it's like a mutual relationship of reciprocity and care on both sides. And that's how friendships are made. Alright, love you, bye.